Hello, welcome to a new video. It is that time where I'm bringing you my TBR for May, and it's my favourite TBR because May the TBR be with you is now one, and I'm doing a readathon. So I am doing a readathon where you can play the game yourself, and there are very little rules. I will leave the announcement there, I think. It's in one of the corners. I will say, my fan's on because it's really hot, but it's also windy and rainy outside, so you're probably going to hear sounds in the background, which is great. I am actually taking part in 2 readathons this month because I am taking part in obviously my own readathon, and I'm also taking part in the Vampire Diaries readathon hosted by Chloe at Chloe Reads Books. I will leave her linked in the description below so you can go and check that out. It is going to be so easy, and proof is how I've done it. It's so easy to make my prompts work with her prompts, so I'm very happy with this because I've not had to add any extra books for these. But anyway, I'm gonna first do my roles and go through those books, and then I will go through my Vampire Diaries readathon books. So let's see what 10 planets I'm going to, because yes, I'm doing 10. Okay, so for this month we have no cards because I am playing it the way of the readathon. So I am not going to do the extra roll to find out where we start because I did play last month. So we're starting where we left off last month, which was Scarif. So I'm going to change it up a little bit this month. There's going to be no punishment lightsabers because I am going to have unlimited rolls because I want to get to 10 planets. And I'm doubling up on readathons this month because of course I am. So we're just going to get to 10 planets. So let's see what 10 planets we get. 3 is Mandalore. 7 is Naboo. That is a 7. Yeah, that's the 7. 0, roll again. 3, back to Mandalore. 0 again. 6 is Mustafa. 8 is Tatooine. 7 Naboo. 8 Tatooine again. 1 Exegol. 5 is Scarif. And then the final planet is 5, which is Scarif. Nope, I need to roll again. 8 is Tatooine again. Okay, so let's get started. I need to get to Mandalore first, which should be pretty easy. Roll number 1. A double 1. There we go. So straight off, I rolled a double 1. Because I've got unlimited rolls, of course I rolled a double 1. So I went straight to Mandalore, and I have chosen, because I'm choosing them this month, I've chosen the Din Djarin prompt, which is a hardback book. This is such an easy prompt to fill. And for this, I will be reading The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. This is one of Ash's favourite books of last year, and I'm really excited to read it. I'm actually going to read it on her birthday week, and I am just so excited. And also, Emma was the one that gifted me this for my birthday, so thank you. Now I need to get down to Naboo. Roll number 2. A 4 and a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roll number 3. A 6 and a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Roll number 4. A 6 and a 3. 1, 2. Next up, I slowly made my way to Naboo, and I chose the prompt Padme, which is a book by a female author. So for this, I have gone for The Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty. So a book theme named Mel and 3 other people are hosting a David Bad read-along, and May is the final month for the main trilogy. I really enjoyed City of Brass, and I also am reading Kingdom of Copper this month, so Empire of Gold next month, and I'm very excited for this. And I still have 7, so I need to get back up to Mandalore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roll number 5. A 6 and a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Roll number 6. A 5 and a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I had to head back up to Mandalore, and I have chosen Darth Maul, a book with a siege or battle. So for this, Jem is very happy with this. I have chosen Attack on Titan volume 7. I have been really enjoying this, and there is a battle in like every single volume of this because they're battling the Titans. So this fits. And then I still have 2. I've got to get down to Mustafa. 1, 2. Roll number 7. Oh, 5 and a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Roll number 8. A 6 and a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Roll number 9. A double 1 when I'm right there. Really helpful. Then I had to head all the way back down to Mustafa, and I'm really glad I decided not to give myself a limit on how many rolls, because frustratingly I was only a few spaces away when I rolled a double after taking like what 2-3 rolls to get down to that point. Anyway, so for Mustafa I've chosen Obi-Wan, a book with mental health rep, and for this I am reading A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas. Feyre goes through a lot. She has major PTSD, and I love how Sarah J Maas writes like mental health rep. I know a lot of people disagree. I appreciate how she writes them. Then I've got to get to Tatooine. So this is my 10th roll. So in a normal game, this would have been it for me. So a 6 and a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Roll number 11. A double 2. Nice. And then once again, I rolled another double when I was quite near the planet. But I ended up on Tatooine, and for this, I have chosen Joa Read a Scavenge book. So for this, it's like a book you've borrowed from a friend or the library or like Scribd. So for this, I'm reading Feed by Myra Grant. This is another one I want to read for Ash's birthday week. I'm actually borrowing the physical copy of her, so scavenged, and I have reserved the audiobook at the library, so again, scavenged. I'm really excited to read this. I originally wasn't going to read this because I was like, oh, but I wanted a zombie book and this isn't actually zombies, it's just politics. But the way Ash has spoken about it, I'm so intrigued now, and I'll be going into it with the right marketing, so yeah. Then I need to get back to Naboo, so we're on number 12. 5 and a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Roll number 13. A double 6. You've got to be kidding me. I could have got anything there. Again, I got a double when I was right by the planet. I don't know whether these dice hated me or loved me at this point, but I'm back at Naboo, and I've chosen the Anakin prompt, which is to read a romance, and for this, another one for Ash, The Final Offer by Lauren Asher. So Ash hasn't actually read this book in the trilogy yet. I am gonna be reading this before her. However, the fine print is one of her favourite, the fine print is one of the reasons she got into romance, so that this series is very close to her heart. So I'm looking forward to reading it, and I get to finish a series. Go me. Then roll number 14, back to Tatooine. A double 1, you've got to be kidding me. Literally the month I don't have any lightsabers, and I can do this in as many rolls, it's given me all the doubles. Yep, another double. But I'm back at Tatooine, and I have chosen the Fennec Shand prompt, which is to mood read. So for this, I'm reading The 9 Eyes of Lucian by Madeline Rowe. This is a critical role book. This is a campaign 2 critical role book. I'm so excited to read this, and again, this is another one for Ash's birthday, because I'm just gonna do like spoiler, I'm doing a vlog for her birthday week where I read books that she loves. But like, these are books I already own. Apart from Feed, these are all books I already own, so it's fine. Roll number 15, and I now need to get up to Exegol, so this is where I need a double. Oh, I got a 6 and a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Roll number 16. 5 and a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Roll number 17. A 4 and a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roll number 18. A double 5 when I'm right by it. Again, this is another one where I'm really glad it wasn't a limit on how many rolls I could do this in, because tell me why. I roll the double when I'm right by the planet. When I had to get from one side of the board to the other, that's when you give me the double. But anyway, we're on Exegol. I've chosen the Raid prompt, which is an underrated book, and for this I'm reading Otherworldly by F.T. Lukens. Now I know that their books are getting a bit more popular now, however their books are still very, very underrated. I don't see people talking about them enough, and it is a shame because they are incredible. I need to get all the way over here to Scariff now. Roll number 19. A 5 and a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Roll number 20. I don't know if you can see that. That's a 5. 6 and a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Roll number 21. Double 4. Yes. Yes, gave me a double when I needed it. We're at Scariff, and for this I've chosen the Gin prompt, which is one of the oldest books on your TBR. Now for this I have chosen Seven Devils by Elizabeth May and Laura Lamb. I have had this book since, what year did it come out? 2020. This is definitely one of the oldest books on my TBR. I need to read this, so May is when it's happening, which is hilarious because Elizabeth May. And then I just need to get back to Tatooine. So roll number 22. 6 and a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then watch me get a double when I only need like a 2. Oh no, I got a 6 and a 5. So 1, 2. Complete. And then we ended up back on Tatooine again. It didn't give me that double when I was a few spaces away, which I was happy about. But I've chosen the Luke prompt, which is a book with a twist, and I will be reading Magic Study by Maria V. Snyder. This is for the Chronicles of Ixia read along that Tori and Andy are hosting. I didn't join in April because I only read Poison Study in December, so it's fresh enough in my mind I don't need to reread it. So I'll be joining them from May onwards, and I'm excited to continue this series. Okay, it's gonna be quite quiet. I've turned my fan off now. So that is my May the TBR Be With You readathon prompts. I'm really excited to have been able to choose the prompts because it's worked out perfectly for this month. Because obviously with Chloe hosting the Vampire Diaries readathon, which has 15 prompts, I wanted to make 10 of these books fit into those prompts, and I did it, and I'm very happy with myself for this. So for the Vampire Diaries readathon, the first prompt is Elena Gilbert, read a book getting a lot of attention. So for this, I'm reading Akamath. Obviously, Ash and Tori are doing the mass along, so a lot of people are like rereading or reading this series for that. So it's getting a lot of attention. Plus, it's Sarah J. Maas, she always gets attention. Then Stefan Salvatore is read a book with a dual POV. For this, I'll be reading The Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty. The first book had dual POV, so I have just assumed that the other two are going to have that as well. If I'm wrong, it's not my fault. I thought it would. Next up is Damon Salvatore, read a book that gets you excited. I love this prompt because there are multiple ways you could take this. I'm going on, you would think I would go for the spicy route. For once, no. I'm reading The Nine Eyes of Lucian by Madeline Rowe, which is the Critical Role book. And I'm really excited to read it because I am this close to starting campaign 2, which is this book. I'm so close to the end of campaign 1, and I'm hoping in May I'll be starting campaign 2 at some point. So I'm very excited to read this. So excited. Next up is Bonnie Bennett, a Reader's 5-star prediction. So for this, I'm going to be reading Thrawn Ascendancy, Lesser Evil by Timothy Zahn. The first 2 books in this trilogy have been a 5-star for me, so I have absolutely no idea. I think all of the Timothy Zahn books I've read have been 5-star. I genuinely love how he writes Thrawn. It's so good. So yeah. Next up is Caroline Forbes, read a book with a strong female character. For this, I'll be reading The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I'm going to be honest, I don't know much about this, but I know it has a strong female character, so it works. Next is Matt Donovan, read a book with human main characters. For this, I'll be reading Feed by Mara Grant. It's a post-zombie apocalyptic world where the humans are figuring out how to deal. So I think this works. Next is Jeremy Gilbert, continuous series, Perfect Opportunity, Magic Study by Maria V. Snyder. This is the second book in the first trilogy. Next up is Tyler Lockwood, read a book with a low rating. So it's very hard to find a book with like an extremely low rating on Goodreads, unless it's been review bombed, which we don't want that. But I'm going to read To Cage a God by Elizabeth May. This has a average rating of, let me double check. So this is an average rating of 3.37, which, considering it's only got 929 ratings on Goodreads, is worrying me a bit, because I want to love this book and it sounds amazing, but am I going to love it? But we'll see. I do hope I love it, but it fits the prompt, so whether I love it or not, at least it fits the prompt. Next up is Alaric Saltzman, read a book with a historical element. Now, I love the way I've twisted this, and there is another way I could twist this prompt for this. But I'm reading The Rising Storm by Cavan Scott, which is the second book in the first High Republic series. Now, I got really excited because I was like, oh my God, it's like, because I always think, when I think of Star Wars, for some reason, I always think, oh, it's in the future. It's futuristic. So I was like, well, this is Star Wars history, because High Republic is where it all began. And I got really excited about how I was twisting that to make it historical. And then people just kept pointing out that a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away is every Star Wars. And I'm like, don't ruin my fun. It's historical because it's the history of Star Wars. Like, I'm sticking with my stretching prompt. It's historical. Next up is Sheriff Forbes, read a book with a mystery. For this, I'll be reading Attack on Titan Volume 7. Jem actually come up with the idea for this, and it's because obviously the Titans in general are a mystery. Then the Abnormals are an even bigger mystery, but then there is something else which is, I would say it's a bit of a spoiler for the first few volumes, so I'm not going to say it, but there is something at the point I am at in Volume 6, which is a big mystery. So hopefully the mystery is solved in Volume 7, probably not, but there's still mystery in Volume 7. Next is Niklaus Michelson, read a genre-bending book. I'm going for historical sci-fi. It's The Fallen Star by Claudia Gray. This is the third book in the first trilogy. I read Light of the Jedi last year or the year before. I want to finish this trilogy so that I can move on to the next trilogy. But yeah, it's historical sci-fi. Next up is Rebecca Michelson, read a romance. I'll be reading The Final Offer by Lauren Asher. Very excited. Although I hate it when romances are this big. The only reason I'm going to let her off of it being almost 600 pages is because it's the third book in the series. But this better deliver, otherwise I'm going to be annoyed. Next up is Elijah Michelson, the best Michelson. Read a book with a beautiful cover. It can't not be F.T. Lukens. It's otherworldly. Me and Jem are buddy reading this and we're so excited. Like, so excited. But yeah, look at that cover. Like, all of their covers are beautiful, but this one is just, I think this might be my favourite cover. Oh no, is Spellbound still my favourite cover? Still, it's still beautiful. Next is Catherine Pierce, read a retelling or a book inspired by another. So I'm reading Seven Devils by Elizabeth May and Laura Lamb. Now, at first I wasn't sure if this one would fit for this prompt. However, I was reading the blurb out to Jem and Ash. And Ash was just like, that's Star Wars. This literally sounds like Star Wars. After Eris faked her death, she thought she had left her old life as Princess Discordia, heir to the galaxy's most ruthless empire, behind. But joining the Novatine Resistance, an organisation opposed to the Empire's voracious expansion, throws her right back into the fray. Resistance fighter pilot. Like, if that's not Star Wars, I don't know what is. So that has definitely been inspired by Star Wars. And then the final one is Enzo St. John, read a second chance author. So me and Ash are going to buddy read The Fiancé Farce by Alexandria Bellefleur. Now, My reason why this fits for second chance author is because as much as I loved the first 2 Alexandria Belle Fleur books I read, however, Count Your Lucky Stars was such a disappointment and it angered me so much. So she's going to need to do a lot to come back into my good books, and I'm hoping this does it. So I'm going to give her a second chance. And I really, really hope she pulls through for me, because I loved the first 2 books in her trilogy and I want to love her other books too. Okay, so that was my TBR. I also may have forgotten there was a couple of other books that I wanted to read in May. So when I was planning my TBR, I actually forgot me and Kelly are buddy reading Traitor's Blade by Sebastian de Castell in May. So it is not on my TBR officially, but it is on my TBR because I'm going to be reading it in May. But that's fine, because with Vampire Diaries Readathon, you can literally get points after you've completed the 15 prompts. You can get additional points for how many pages you read in each book. So I'll get the page count of this as points, which is fine. That's fine. Am I going to attempt to try and read 31 books in May because I want to win Vampire Diaries Readathon? Yes, I am. So far I'm on 16 books on my TBR. But also no 17, because I also Tempest Runner by Cavan Scott is on my library app, and that is the next one to read after the 2 that are on my TBR. So I think I'm going to read this, and then I have requested a couple of other of the Star Wars books at my library, so I might also read those. Plus I really wanted to get to the 3 From a Certain Point of View books. Am I going to way overdo it in May? Probably. The slump is going to hit at some point, and I'm just trying to read as much as I can while I want to, because I know the slump's going to hit, and it's going to hit hard at this point, because I have read 85 books at this point in April. We are not even halfway into the year, and I have already hit my 80 book goal. So we're gonna roll with it while it's here and work with it until it's no longer here. So this is my May TBR. I'm very, very excited for both of these readathons. I mean, obviously I'm excited for mine, but I mean, I would be playing this game whether I was doing the readathon or not. But I'm really excited to play it this way, where I got to choose my prompts and have no lightsabers. My decision for not having lightsabers was purely based on I needed to be able to fit the Vampire Diaries readathon books into whatever prompts I pulled for Star Wars. So I was like, if I end up with lightsabers, I'm taking that choice away, and I'm not doing that to myself. I've also made the executive decision to not pull from my 12 books in 2024. I'm curious to see what I would get. Do you know what? Should we pull one? I think we should pull one. Oh, and see what we would get. Sorry, Lisa, it's not going to happen. I was going to say, if I pulled gems, it would be absolutely hilarious, and I feel like I would have to read it. But no, we're not having a 12 books this month. Sorry, Lisa, if that disappoints you. But just so you know, if you pull my book for May, please feel free to pick again. Like, we're not doing my book for your one. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you are joining in either or both of the readathons I've mentioned today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.